Howdy, howdy, gamers! We're back with part 2 of I Wrote a Letter to Myself, and I got a response. Part 2.
Part 2 of a story that has 5 parts, and we're on part 2.
Exactly. Part 1 was pretty wild. Go check it out if you haven't. Highly recommended. Pretty much from what we've got from part 1 is we found out the Scott that was writing him back is an evil Scott. Oh, Scott is the main character, if you didn't know. Um, and
If you didn't know, just go watch the first video.
Exactly, and then come right back. We'll be here. The evil Scott took his girlfriend. Or it wasn't his girlfriend. Was it his girlfriend, or
It was his fiance.
was it though? Because remember, I think he just said like, "Oh yeah, we're getting married," or was that like
I,
real?
I, I think. Maybe. I think.
'Cause I thought
I
they were
think they
just
were going to get
roommates.
married. Yeah. Oh no! I mean, this is girlfriend, like genuinely.
Oh, okay, then yeah.
Yeah.
So he took his girlfriend. Said she's pretty hot, and
And they were roommates.
yeah. So we don't really know what Scott's gonna do now. So
It was implied that the mirror freak version of Scott had murdered his girlfriend. So we don't know. Then that's
That's
why
also true.
I think it's like a rescue mission now.
yeah, because there was a lot of blood and a fingernail.
Yeah. Well, even like the mirror Scott said that, like he's like, she was a bad word and I had to punish her, kind of deal. So
Yeah. I don't know. I'm pretty excited to see where we're at with part 2.
yeah,
A little bit of a shorter episode this week, only because schedules are getting massive, and we only have time for this
Yeah.
recording time we have. So deal with it. All right. I could take over since you read. You started the most last time.
sure, yeah, sure.
All right. Also, the link to this story is in the description below.
Also, check out scissor.com. Our merch is live. I will we will have the link for that in very shortly. We're starting off with a t-shirt, a hoodie, and we're getting 2 different kinds of hats: the dad hat and a trucker hat. So
Yeah,
just
trucker.
keep an eye out for that stuff.
All right. Part 2 of I Wrote a Letter to Myself. Scott, I know you're a good guy at heart. I know that because, well, you're me. And despite my flaws, I like to think I'm a good guy too. I understand that your world is different than mine, and that has to have affected you a lot. Who's to say what you would be doing, who you would be as a person? If you had grown up like I did, my point is, I don't blame you for anything. I just need you to listen to me. Okay, so I'm guessing that's a letter he's writing?
Yeah, because that's in italics.
Oh, okay. Oh, this whole thing's a letter. Is this whole... Okay. I spent a lot of time with my dad growing up. I don't know if that was true for you or what your version of dad was, even like. But mine was great. He was always there for me and... Oh, excuse me. And not just out of some sense of parental duty, but because he really loved me and wanted me to succeed in life. One thing we did a lot was go hunting, sometimes for wild pigs, rabbits, but mostly for deer. I drank a fucking Dr. Pepper and I'm burping. I remember the first time I killed a deer. It wasn't a clean shot, and we had to track it over a mile before finding it dead in some underbrush at the edge of an empty field. My father took out his knife to show me how to field dress it, but before he handed it to me, he stopped and put his hand on my shoulder. You never kill things or hurt things. Do you want to be the dad here?
Yeah, sure. God, I kind of want to do the voice that you're doing. You never kill things or hurt things unless it's necessary, either for your survival or some greater good. The deer is clean, healthy meat that will feed us and your mom for several weeks. Us being willing or able to kill this deer doesn't make its life unimportant. It means that we have to value ourselves above others while still trying to live a good and virtuous life. You understand?
I said that I did, and I was being honest at the time, but of course, that was the understanding of a child. And more, the world has taught me to more fully appreciate the importance of his words now. My father would also tell me stories about his own childhood. My favorites were always about a dog he had growing up named Rex. Dad had gotten me when he was 8, and he loved that dog more than anything. They really were best friends, I think. They would play together, explore the forest around the farm where my dad grew up, and were genuinely inseparable, as much as life allowed. I feel like something's gonna happen to that dog.
Mm-hmm. Probably. Well, I mean, every dog will eventually die, so.
Oh, don't say that. My dog is living to be 100. Okay, be honest here. I told Kirsten that if like Rocky, once he does eventually go, I'm
Mhm.
thinking about stuffing him.
Okay, let me give
What are
you
your
my opinion
okay?
on that. Okay, don't, because it never goes the way you want it to. It will always look uncanny and nobody will be able to match. And I'm not even kidding. A lot of people have this problem. Like a lot of people, they get their animal stuff and they go, he doesn't look the same. And it scares me now. I think it's more honorable to have him cremated.
Okay, I was gonna do
I,
cremation
because
if
I
it
think
wasn't.
cremation is the way to go. Yeah, I
Yes.
don't recommend stuffing because you're not going to view it the same way as if he was still there. It's better to have the memory than to have his corpse that doesn't look like him. You know, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
It's
No.
like,
Okay.
to each their own, but I would not recommend it. So,
So for the viewers, my dog is a pug. So
yeah.
now, okay. Now let me tell you the stance he was gonna have if he was cremated or if he was stuffed.
Oh boy.
He was going to be standing on his back legs, arms straight down, like just standing, like
Wait, just
like
standing straight like all
straight
fours?
up. His front paws would be down like this, and he would be standing like, and just standing in the corner.
No. You can't do that to him, bro. That's fucked. That's funny as hell. It would be
Ugh.
funny as hell. Despite
I
how much I would like to see that, I don't really want to.
I had to put a fucking cowboy hat on him. It's,
Okay, I may be changing my mind.
it's either that or he'd sit right here and stand, and he'd hold my headphones. I put my headphones.
No, you can't do that.
No, it's probably going to lead to cremation, to be honest.
Yeah, I would. I would
All right.
That's wild.
Comment down below what you think I should do.
Yeah, leave a comment. Should he cremate and do the plan, or should he get stuffed like that? That's
uh,
wild.
when Dad got old enough to drive, Rex. Wait, when Dad got old enough to drive, how old was his dad?
Well, this is like when he was flashing back to stories that his dad was telling him.
Oh,
So this
okay,
is
that
like
makes
when his
sense.
dad was a kid. Yeah.
My dad finally turned 16.
When my dad was 16, I was 7. Hold on, wait a minute.
When Dad got old enough to drive, Rex would ride everywhere with him. He was big for a dog, apparently, so he could easily sit in his seat and stick his head out of the window and catch smells as they drove to town or out to go camping. My version of our father never went to college, but he was a smart man and hard worker. He opened up a little hardware store at 19, and within a couple of years, he had bought a house and was saving up ring money for the girl that is our mother.
Fucking boomer. Had it easy.
What a fucking
I could buy
dope,
a house at 19.
honestly.
I don't understand why the kids can't do it. It was really easy for me.
The best advice we get from fucking boomers is
Oh, it was really easy for
invest
me. Just do that.
yeah, or go just start investing. It's like with
Yeah.
what fucking money?
Yeah, with what fucking money? Ah! Milk is $4 a gallon, $5 a gallon. I
When
don't
I was
know.
your
I
age,
don't
I
drink
went out
fucking
and
milk.
milked my own milk.
Yeah, back in my day, I bought a cow, and then I bought 20 of them, and then I just raised a farm when I was your age by myself.
When I was your age, my grandfather gave me 20 acres and a farm already built.
And a small loan of $1 million.
And I had to work every day to keep that thing going.
Yeah. And it was really easy for me to buy a house. So
Good.
just do that.
Yeah.
Like, just do that. Like, take the things that I did not give you, the tools for success, and just be successful.
Oh god, boomers. One night one night as he was closing up shop, he heard Rex start growling. He turned to see where the dog was and found him at the back door.
Coyote.
Hackles raised and teeth barred. At first, my father thought it was a raccoon or another dog, maybe. He grabbed Rex by the collar and opened the door to look out. It was dark and he couldn't see much, but suddenly he was knocked down and being attacked. He would never say by what, though I've always suspected that it was more to keep from scarring me too much than because he didn't know. Rex, I'm going to guess it's a bear or some shit.
It could be, yeah.
Rex broke free of his grasp and charged the thing. Whatever it was, it snapped and snarled, bit and clawed.
It's like a wolf then.
After a moment, my father was free of it. It was preoccupied by Rex, who was fighting it for everything he was worth. He was an older dog now, but no one was going to mess with our dad. Rex.
Say the word.
What?
No one's going to mess with our
Daddy.
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't even know it said daddy.
It's because you just have such a negative stigmatism to the word, you try to avoid it.
Rex drove the thing into the woods, but he was hurt badly. Too badly to make it. In fact, my father held him crying as he died. That's sad.
That's messed up. I've got a dying animal story to tell.
What you got?
So I worked on a pig farm when I was in high school. It was like my second job ever. And we were tasked with giving the pigs like immunizations, shots and shit, so they don't die. And the owner had just hired this one worker who didn't understand like all the way, so he went to go give him a shot, and like pigskin's tough, so you gotta give us some pressure.
Yeah.
But he's holding the pig, and he like got it good, and it killed the pig. And a little piglet, like tiny baby, and I held it in in my hands, and I was like, I feel so bad for this thing, and I felt its heart stop in my hands, and I was destroyed.
Bro, that's the worst.
Yeah, I was trying really hard not to cry all day for that. So
yeah, I don't blame you at all.
I did not talk to him after that. Like I barely knew him anyway. But.
Pretty much, like I was driving one day at work. We were driving across our shops at a mile away. We're driving and some turkeys were walking across the road, and he was like, "Yo, let me hit these." I was like, "No, you're not gonna fucking hit him." He didn't hit him. I told him like, "Don't fucking do that, you dick," because he started. That could be
Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, like fuck. Yeah, Thanksgiving's coming up. Turkey season's not here yet, but let it be here.
Yeah,
and we'll kill it legally. But I hate people like that. Granted, I know the kid didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah.
It just sucks. Yeah, I immediately
it sucks. And it's just like, don't get me wrong. I know that pigs on a farm like that literally live a shitty life, and they don't even realize it. Like they're bred to be slaughtered, and they don't see the light, and they don't eat grass, so it's fucked up regardless. And like, even when I was working on a pig farm, I knew it was fucked up. It's just, I was a teenager. I needed money. So like, I knew that technically the pig lived a better life. It was put out of its misery.
Yeah, honestly.
So,
have you ever seen like when a pig gets out, like pretty much as it turns back into a boar, like a wild pig.
Uh-uh.
Like pretty much if it's out, if it escapes and is in the wild for like a
Mm-hmm.
month, it fur and it fucking basically turns into a boar. It's
Really?
fucking wild.
Wow.
I don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, that would be interesting. Editor, throw up if it's true or not.
I'm not doing that. Maybe I will. All right. For the first time, Dad told me that story. I was 15. I was horrified. I had been hearing stories about Rex for years. I loved Rex, felt like I knew him even though he died well before I was born. And truth be told, Rex wouldn't have lived that much longer anyway. But still, it was so sad.
Exactly.
I sat there crying my eyes out, and I remember my dad started crying too. It was one of the few times I ever saw him cry. He reached over and hugged me before explaining why he was telling me the story in the first place. Take it
Oh,
away,
wait, is
Daddy.
it me? Is that me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Scott, the world is a hard place, and it's only going to get harder. Rex and me, we loved each other with everything we had, and he sacrificed himself to save me. That's the lesson. If you're going to live a life worth living, you can't be afraid to make sacrifices, whether it's something that is important to you or something else. Sometimes a cost has to be paid, and you have to be willing to pay it. Being too afraid or too weak to do what needs to be done is a greater sin than trying and failing or making the wrong choice. Always remember that.
And I have Scott. Oh, and I have.
Oh, and I have Scott.
Oh, wait.
I've
No,
yeah,
it's not quoted.
that's
Is that him
yeah,
still?
that's I think it's still the dad. I think it's continued. Always remember that. And I have Scott. Oh no, that's him. That's
Oh, okay.
Scott talking to Scott. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot we're talking to ourselves here.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And I have, Scott. I've tried to make the best decisions in my life. And
Well,
all
damn.
things considered, things have turned out well for me. For instance, I remember the first time I saw our Christine. Oh, he's pretty much doing the opposite of what you should do. Be like, my life's great.
Yeah. Your life can be just like mine. All you have to do is try, you idiot.
Oh, God.
He's literally doing the boomer thing. Well, I met my wife when I was 19 and we've been married for 40 years. All you have to do is do that.
People are going crazy in your world, but just be different.
Yeah, just don't. Just don't go crazy.
I felt such a strong surge of excitement and anticipation that I didn't even know what to say to her. And later, when we made love for the first time, I
Uh-oh.
remembered she cried. If I'm honest, I cried a little. Okay. I mean,
What?
I don't know, I'm just going to keep on reading. I don't know. I didn't expect the
I
whole.
cried a little too.
I
That's
cried a
because
little
it was
too.
really
Magical.
awkward, probably.
Uh, and I think I was too hard on her initially. Yeah. And I think I was too hard on her initially. Scott, I thought she was a whore like the old Christine. But I think living in a softer, kinder world kept her from developing some of those rough edges that I was trying to wear down on old Christine. She's still got a slut look about her face at times. So she bears watching, but I do think she can be rehabitable if you are
Rehabilitated.
rehabilitated if you are firm with her. That paragraph
Wait,
is
so
weird.
which Scott is talking now?
Yeah, now I'm
Because
confused.
now it sounds like it's evil Scott.
Yeah, now okay, that's kind of interesting because yeah, it's the I felt a strong especially when he says, "I remember when I first saw our Christine." I felt
Yeah,
such
well,
a
because he had a Christine too. So,
yeah.
like, yeah.
When we made love for the first time, I remember she cried. If I'm honest, I cried a little too.
So that sounds like normal Scott. But then when he starts accusing her of being, you know, promiscuous, that sounds like evil Scott.
Well, the way I'm also now looking at it, if it is evil Scott, is it would make sense if she cried. because it's evil Scott.
Oh, okay.
Because
Throw up
I
a
think,
trigger warning.
yeah, we might get into some shit here.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought she was a whore like the old Christine, but I think living in a softer, kinder world kept her from. This is evil Scott.
Are you see? I don't know.
This is okay because I thought she was a whore like the old Christine, but I think living in a
Yeah.
softer, kinder world kept her from developing some of those rough
Oh, you're
edges.
right. You're right. I
We're
think
into.
it is. Yeah.
When the fuck did we switch, or is this it?
Yeah. Because this definitely swapped. Or maybe it didn't.
She still got especially when she still got a slut look around her face at times, so she bears watching. But I do think she can be rehabitable if you are firm with her.
Re- Rehabilitated.
God damn it!
I think you're
People
right.
can
I,
live
I
on her.
honestly, I'm starting to think that this is Evil Scott from the beginning. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's really hard to say.
Okay, yeah. Okay, we'll just keep going and find out. I want to apologize to you, Scott. When I come back and took you by surprise in your bed, well, I'll be honest. I was disappointed. I expected more of a fight, but you were half asleep. And just like our Christine, you've had the luxury of a softer life than I've had.
Okay, it's evil the entire time. Yeah,
Was it the whole time?
yeah. I think the entire letter. Yeah.
Let me go back to the Scott. I know you're a good guy at heart. I know that because you're me. And despite my flaws, I
Yeah.
like
See,
to think
despite my
I'm a
flaws of
good
being
guy
like a
too.
murderer. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Holy shit, that's wild.
This is insane.
I love this story. Okay, I lost my spot. I want to apologize to you. Oh,
Yeah.
was it that?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to apologize to you, Scott. When I came back and took you by surprise in your bed, well, I'll be honest, I was disappointed. I expected more of a fight, but you were half asleep. And just like our Christine, you've had the luxury of a softer life than I've had. I don't think less of you because you couldn't stop me from forcing you through the door. I
Hmm.
also want to say I'm sorry because I know from your perspective I may seem like a bad guy. I took your girl. Oh God, excuse me. Did you hear that?
Hmm.
I had a Scott come out of me.
Scott?
Ah, what?
A
uh,
Scott?
and then you from the cushy life and pushed you in the world that, well, from your point of view, might seem a bit like hell. I want you to know I didn't do that out of some ill will towards you or even Christine, but I had to get out of there and sacrifices had to be made. And those sacrifices are valid by me. Scott, it's important that you know that. Oh, it's important that you know that. Don't worry about trying to get back either. I know from the peaks I've managed to get in the last couple of weeks that you were trying and you had figured out the combining of our two papers was part of it. But you won't get the rest, and I made sure not to leave any of those letters or envelopes on my side anyway. The
Oh.
This letter and envelope will be the only paper from your old world you will have. And trust me, it isn't enough. I don't say this to trick or discourage you, but because I don't want you wasting time and energy chasing some impossible goal when you should be focused to getting your feet under you and making a new life. I really hope you two crazy kids make a go of it over there. LOL. Who's to say? You might be better at that life than ever was. As for me, I just got back from walking in the park across from my apartment. It seemed like I could hear birds singing everywhere, and I saw a woman walking a dog. Can you believe it? A real live dog.
Hmm.
I know this world isn't perfect. I can already see a lot of impurities and corruption. Maybe I can help correct some of that in time. But for now, I'm just going to enjoy my new life. I won't be writing you again, I'm afraid, but I'll think of you often. I'm going I'm going this afternoon to buy a puppy. I'd name it after you, but well, that'd be weird. LOL. Have a good life. Sincerely, Scott.
This guy's fucking psycho. So that means
Bro!
like he came back again and took the other Scott and
Yeah.
swapped them.
So I'm
So
wondering
now
if
Christine and Scott from our world are in the mirror world.
yeah, I kind of fucked up that the third last paragraph, but
No, you're good.
so that concludes at the end of part 1 when he looked at the elevator mirror and he saw evil Scott, or maybe it wasn't the reflection, maybe it was him right there the whole fucking time. No, it
Maybe.
wasn't,
No,
because he did it
no.
when he was sleeping.
Yeah, yeah.
So, homeboy, and it does imply, I'm not gonna lie, the fucking beginning half really got us there. It got me.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was good Scott. I thought he was like trying to plead with evil Scott to be like, this is why you
That's what
should
I
give
thought.
Christine back. Yeah.
And then, okay, but here's what's interesting is that because the way he was describing what his dad's life was makes you almost think, like, how different is the world? Which I'm sure we're gonna get to know in part 3.
Mm-hmm.
But it must not be that different. What are you looking at the comments?
Yeah, it just says after looking at the title, I'm going to advise you get a carbon monoxide detector. And then somebody commented below and said meta.
Someone, how do people on this sub even know this stuff? And then someone replied to it, "Are you implying you are not a wizard?" Oh no, this is Bad Scott's account now. So
Yeah.
you just have him a heads up.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what that's really supposed to mean, but
More like Evil Scott and Victim Scott. Hardcore Scott and softcore Scott.
yeah. So I saw soft Scott and hard Scott as part of the comments. I was like, okay.
I have a big dog named Rex. This is awesome. Seriously, spoopy.
Seriously, spoopy. Like this one, he's like, "Oh damn, I thought it was good Scott," and still it started talking about the door. Bad Scott had a good childhood, and it sounds like, what's his damn problem?
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I'm glad we picked up on it. It was when
yeah,
it's when it got the not safe for work weird talks with Christine.
yeah.
That's when I'm glad we both picked up on that because we're like, this is weird. Like, what do you mean? That's why whenever I read, we cried at first. Like, I mean, I guess, but interesting.
It's
Why
like that sounds like a good Scott thing,
Yeah,
but then it's like,
something bad
like,
happened to Christine.
yeah, I think there's bad implications. Yeah.
Yeah. So part 3, we're gonna get into some deep water.
Yeah. I think part 3 is probably going to be good Scott's point of view.
It's gotta
Of,
be,
like,
and it's interesting. I'm sure we'll figure out how long he's been there because I don't know if it's been a couple days or a week or so because he said that they've been trying to get out.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Or well, he watched him from the mirror and realized that Good Scott in the regular world was trying to get in, and almost figured it out. But that's why he said, "I didn't leave any of my letters behind." So
I got you. I don't know about you, but so far this is a fucking 9.
it's a good story.
It's a 9 for me right now.
It's like 9 territory. Like like 8.5, 9 territory for me right now. But again, I'm going to save my actual ranking until we finish it. So
exactly. Yep. Again, short episode this week, but hey, what are you gonna do? Life. Be sure to like, comment down below. What you guys think of the story so far?
smash the subscribe button.
Yep, smash it. Go check out our merch. Merch is down below. Is it officially down? Is it out or just for us?
It's officially out. I've ordered mine already.
No, that's what I didn't know if it was like
But
we got a special link or some shit.
we don't have a special link yet, so we'd have to put links to the specific pieces of clothing, and I will
Would it
send
be
them
what?
to you.
Okay, I would say would it be what Dylan
Yeah.
sent or you sent?
Yeah, it'll be what Dylan sent, or the two links that I sent you. Yeah, those are the links that you're gonna need.
I'll
Yeah,
say I'll just okay. I just
Yeah.
wanted to. I guess it was when I don't. You said something. I was like, oh, is it not like live yet? But
technically it's live. It's just unlisted, so you have to have the specific link.
oh,
so,
that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe. We'll see you next time.
Bye.